So here is an interesting question. We shall see. Namaste Swamiji, my humble pranams to you. We seek your explanation and advice to the following question. An executive working in any organization with sincerity and loyalty feels uncomfortable and uneasy when he sees unethical and immoral practices of the organization. Should the executive resign or endure a continued service? The executive, after serving in a few organizations, is unable to tolerate corrupt practices everywhere. Out of frustration, resigns and finds an option to suit his temperament. Yeah. Very human question. First thing first, people who have started organizations, they have their own ways of running it. It may appear corrupt, immoral, compromising to you, but that person has started his organization. Let him handle it. One day the law will catch up with them. If it doesn't catch up, we have nothing to say. But you as a person who is working in that organization, and if your writing is right, that you have left one after another organizations trying to escape that corrupt atmosphere. Good. But remember, before you leave one, just don't be in a hurry to leave one. First find one, then leave. Next, if you see that the next one also is as corrupt, as compromising, as immoral as the other, the best thing is you don't fit into that type of atmosphere, so please start your own startup where your own ideas can be comfortably lived. And if you feel a failure, if you find something failure in that, you have to accept it. You succeed, you can manage your life, that's fantastic. Please understand, nobody shall leave your ideal. You start something to live through your life, to take care of your people who are dependent on you, and that will be the best thing to do. Expecting others to change is good, but expecting to change yours, but better trying to change yourself is the best thing to do. If you think you are very honest, very nice, and you don't fit into other people's corrupt practices, best start your own, and that will be the nice thing to do. Thank you. And then here is another question. Please say something on. It is said that to meet an enlightened master is a predestined event in one's life. Whatever is to happen will happen. Thank you. This is again very human, interesting questions as usual. Most people feel like that everything is predestined. Bhavitavyam bhavatyeva. Whatever has to happen, it will happen. Or else, the kings like Nala, Yudhishthira, Harishchandra, they would not have suffered because they were all great people. If everything is under human control, and because of the good people should not suffer, there is a Sanskrit verse, I don't exactly remember, but this is the theme. Then Nala, the Raja, the king, and the Harishchandra, the one who is the embodiment of truth and honesty, and Yudhishthira, the Dharmaraj, they would not have suffered. If they could change everything. So it looks like bhavitavyam bhavatyeva. Whatever has to happen will happen. But the another dimension is, where do you draw a line? Suppose you wait for, if I have to eat a food, if I have to get some food today, I will get it. So you sit down and wait. Chances are you may never get it, you may die. Then you should say, Bhavitavyam bhavatyeva, I was supposed to die in this way. Accept it. But somebody who cannot tolerate the hunger, he waited for some time, said, no, unless I get up and go. Even the animals get up and search for food. The dogs run around, the fish runs 1,000 miles, swim in underwater, the birds fly thousands of miles in migration. So what is the idea of my sitting down there and waiting that food will reach me? You better reach food. So work for yourself. Same way if you sit down, that if in my life I have to meet an enlightened master, I shall meet. But until that, can you live with all your conflict, pain, misery, frustrations, sufferings? Can you? That until the master appears by himself? No, friends. Look for solutions. Go from place to place. Look for it. While looking for it, you don't know, somebody may come on the way. Because if you look for it and do not get it, at least you are not disappointed. That anyway, I tried my best. Like a simple example you can take. Suppose your father or mother, somebody is sick. Suppose you say, Bhavitavyam bhavatyeva, if everything is predestined, if they have to be cured, they will be cured. You give it up. In a month's time, maybe the person is dead. Immediately you shall have remorse, regret. Chah, I should have done something. I simply waited and waited and waited, did not give any medicine, did not ask people for an advice, and he passed away. I should have done. That is why, suppose, when something is happening to somebody is sick, you try to give your best. You don't know whether the right doctor comes or not. You can't wait for some divine dispensation. You can wait, choice is yours. But as I told, that repentance will be there in case the person passes away. That you never took care. But suppose you are a person, we said, okay, somebody is sick, it's my duty as a child to take care of my parents. Then what you do? You did your best. You can't do the royal best. If you are a king, you give the kingly care, royal care. Ordinary person, ordinary care. Middle class person, middle class care. There are hospitals, doctors of different, suiting different pockets. So when you do that your best, and then when he passes away, suppose inevitably the person is, the disease is incurable and he passed away, then what will happen? You shall not feel bad, you won't regret. What shall you say? I did my best, rest God's hand. But if you completely give up without doing anything, you shall have a regret in life. I should have done, I should have tried. So, same way in lesson 2, you can't wait for an enlightened master to come on your way. Waiting for it, as I told you, can you really pass through all difficulties, conflicts, misery? Can you? Impossible. Look for it. Maybe as you look for it, you shall see somebody on the way. You go on listening to it, you find somebody, oh yeah, nice person. Maybe it will work out. And that person was meant for you. Finished. Okay? I think that is better. You work for it instead of waiting for somebody. As they say, nahi shuptasya singhasya pravishanti mukhe murgaha. The Simha, he may be the king of the forest. If he is simply sleeping, Suptasya singhasya mukhe, in the sleeping lion's mouth, the mruga, the deers will not enter for him to eat. The fellow must get up and run, look for the prey, look for his food. Same thing also, you do your best. You don't know what comes on the way. But if you do not do, you will regret, I should have done. After doing, suppose it doesn't happen, maybe that was what is destined. It doesn't matter. Okay? Thank you. So, it's over. Okay. Now, anybody else have a question, or else we shall. Anyway, you have morning today onwards, you had heavy classes, so go back and sleep. Okay? Thank you. Just close your eyes for a minute. We shall. See, the best part of our classes and teaching is because the whole explanation is so clear. After listening, you don't have many questions on the subject because you see it clearly. So what is there to question? If you cannot resolve something, you can ask. Suppose you can resolve it, there is nothing to worry about it. Or some people, it cannot be resolved, they have already decided that. So they will also not ask any questions. If you can resolve it outright, you don't have any question. The person has concluded it cannot be resolved, he will also not ask anything. So, whatever, I am very happy for whatever questions, friends. It is, you ask yourself, do you have a question? Unresolved, you can't resolve it, ask. Don't keep it with yourself. Because, remember, there are answers for which you have no questions. Because this morning we say, Yasmin Vigyate Sarvamidam Vigyatam Avati, knowing which everything is as well known. A person who is aware of that knowledge, no questions of related to mind, life, understanding can ever remain unresolved. Don't ask whether there is extraterrestrial life, what is the secret wealth underground, can I marry after 3 days, how many children I'll have, I have a disease, how will it be cured? It's not that type of thing. It is question on living, your existential questions. Who I am, what is this creation, what is happiness, what is freedom, can I be happy all the time? That variety. Any such question, and mental, the emotional problems and situations, you can see that very nicely, it can be resolved. Okay? Thank you. Namaste.